How's it going, everybody? It's been a minute, but there's a good reason why. Give me just a couple minutes to pull up the live stream myself, and we'll see if anyone pops on here. I know I'm quite a bit later than normal. I'm probably not going to stick around for very long, but there's some good stuff coming that I want to talk about, and yeah, see what happens. If you're jumping on here or you're on here afterwards, let me know that you're here. Put in the comments how you've been over the past week, what's been going on in your life. Always interested to hear that. Um, all right. Meatloaf says blue walls. Yeah, I have a lot of blue walls now. Got even a darker color up by the TV here. Got a dual blue living room now. And also the schoolroom is kind of like this robin's egg blue. So big fan of blue. Accent wall. Yes, correct. Let's see. We got a lot of people here. Todd's in the house. Garden Guy's in the house. Meatloaf's here. She was first, by the way. Andy and Kittanning lovers. Hello. Good to have you, Swan. Roger's in the house. Meatloaf likes the blue. A big fan of blue. Yes, I know. I know you like blue as well. Certainly better than green, right? Aaron's here. Okay, we got a group. This is awesome. So, like I said at the beginning, I probably won't be here real long, but I did just want to pop on and give you guys an update about where I've been, what I've been doing. Was talking to you guys a lot about this event that we had last week for Feast of Tabernacles. We called it an open invitation, and it was just 8 days at our church. We had an 8 day long festival from Friday to Friday, and it just was so great. Had a really awesome time with church friends, and different churches from the community came and led worship with us. We had a couple different organizations do food every night, plus our church did a lot of the food throughout the night. And we raised money for different nonprofits around town. I haven't done the final tallies, but I think that we're going to be close to $2,000 that we're going to give away to different nonprofits around the city, while we were just having a good time and celebrating God and everything that He is. And so I consider that a wild success. Not to mention the fact that how many volunteers came together to make it happen, and just the beautiful times of worship that we had throughout the entire week. And I honestly, I would have loved to have made a video about it. I started to do it a couple of times, but it was so crazy because I literally preached. Today was the first day I didn't preach since last Friday. And then we had, I preached twice last Sunday. So I preached 10 times in 9 days, which was, normally one time a week is kind of overwhelming for me. So I've been talking a whole lot. I've been singing a whole lot. I barely have a voice. I should be a lot more tired than I am, but I'm really not. I feel good, actually. I feel fairly well rested. Today kind of hit me a little bit in the afternoon. I started to wear down a little bit. So maybe I will kind of hit a wall. I'm not sure. But I've been having just kind of different revelation about how to move forward with this channel, and maybe where we should go from here. We have also two big projects that we're working on that will both be ready for announcement, and a third one that I'm hoping will be ready for announcement soon too. But the two projects will be ready for announcement by the end of the week. So we're going to have some real big stuff happening over the course of the coming week and over the course of the coming month especially. So keep an eye out for that. I'm planning to get back into the video making game here. We basically planned this event for 52 days leading up to last week. So it's been basically 2 months of pushing every day, multiple hours a day, working on getting this event together. And it wasn't just me. We had, dozens of volunteers putting together many, many hours to make this happen. So we're talking hundreds, if not 1,000 hours of volunteer time to make this thing happen. It was a big endeavor. It was totally worth it. No regrets. But if you're wondering why I haven't been putting out as many videos lately, that's definitely why. So now I'll have some of that time freed up a little bit. and but I still may not be back to like making 4 or 5 a week. I'm not sure what it's going to end up being, because I still have some more kind of planning and God just really working on my heart and downloading a lot of things into me. And so yeah, it's been really great, but at the same time, it's been a lot, to the point where making videos at the same time has been difficult. But hopefully you guys understand that. I'm sure you do. I don't think I don't think people care nearly as much as I feel like they care. And when I don't put out videos, I feel like I'm kind of letting you down in some way. But I know most of you guys don't really care. I appreciate that you're here and that you're happy when new videos come out and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate the grace that's always given every time that I have a crazy period of life. But man, it was so good. And I posted last night on Facebook. I just said, man, my heart is so full. I feel I might die. That's what I posted. I came home Friday night and it was just like, so good. We just had a beautiful time in worship. Great time with our church family, not only around Kittanning and Ford City, but also church family all across Western Pennsylvania. We had our conference event, or our conference held an event at our church on Saturday on top of the 8 days of celebration. And so got to see a lot of people that I really care deeply about, that have been really influential in my life, and that God has used to make me the person that I am today. And so anytime I can do that, it's always like it's a life-giving situation. The negative side of it all was, I had 8 nights away from my family, and they did come to eat dinner with us multiple nights, but obviously with 4 little kids, it's difficult to have them out late at night. So spent the last couple of days here just doing my best to reconnect with them as much as possible, and to to just be a better dad and husband. So but other than that, it's been really good. So how have you guys been? And if you got to connect with Feast of Tabernacles, I'd love to hear your opinions on it. Should we do it again next year? If you weren't able to be a part of it, did it sound fun actually? Like, is it something that you would want to be a part of in the future? Maybe like, what church do you go to? And would your church ever be willing to partner on something like that? Because I think that was one of the most powerful aspects of it, is it wasn't just Living Water Church. I'm not sure that we could have pulled that off on our own anyways, but what was really beautiful was each night with different churches coming and leading worship. Then we also had different people from those churches come and supporting the event, and then just to get to worship together with all of our brothers and sisters across the city. I think one of the biggest neglected factors of society today is the fact that the church is very disconnected from each other. Like, we're connected within each other sometimes, uh, excuse me, or at least some of us are. There's some churches that aren't connected even within their own body, but if the churches can come together and get connected amongst different denominations and can get on the same page, and if we can have some things in common as far as mission goes, then we can go ahead and push the mission forward, if we all just kind of take different aspects of what we're trying to accomplish. So if we care deeply about changing poverty in Kittanning, or solving the problem of addiction in Kittanning, or whatever it might be, then we can all just begin to push in a different direction as far as what we're gifted at. So some churches are really great at giving out free meals, and some churches have fantastic preachers, and some churches have great worship teams, and some churches are really good at construction. And so if we could take all those different gifts and talents and abilities that are amongst the entire body, then we can get more accomplished when we're all working together. The problem is a lot of churches are smaller. Our church isn't huge, but in Kittanning, it's probably like a medium-sized church. And so if we struggle to do some of those big projects because we're missing a piece of talent, imagine what a church of 20 people or 30 people, imagine how they struggle to try to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. But we might have something that could they might have a fantastic idea, and we have something that could add to them in order to, kind of help them move the ball forward, and vice versa. And so if we can all come together, all those little churches combined, might have 300 people in Kittanning. And so imagine the gifts and talents and abilities that are amongst the 300, and God wants to use them all. And so instead of us all just being frustrated in our own little bubble, what if we came together and worked in harmony? I mean, I think it could be really amazing. And so that's one of the things that I believe that God is kind of downloading in me right now, is something to kind of test in our church as we move towards 2021. Is well, I won't reveal all the details right now, but because I'm still really trying to flesh it out and still trying to just press into prayer on this. But I really believe that there's more that we can do in the church to share talents and abilities to help empower other members in the church and in the community to accomplish what they believe God is calling them to accomplish. And so just trying to come up with a system for how we can do that within our church. And who knows, maybe it work really well and we'd be able to just give that system to other churches and to invite the community to come in and participate in that same vein. So, Meatloaf says, "How do you feel about the color yellow?" I feel okay about it. I'm not gonna like paint everything yellow or anything like that, but it's a fine color. We talked about the kitchen maybe being yellow, but I don't think that's gonna happen. We have so much blue, it'll probably end up being blue because I have a lot of extra paint, and I'm kind of cheap like that. So, Aaron says yes, we need to do it again next year. Roger says we need to do it again next year. So, yeah, I think that's the general consensus. I had many people come up and tell me like, you can't not do this next year. And some of those people were not from our church. Some of those people were from other churches, and they were saying, you have to make this happen next year. If we do it next year, though, it'll be a little bit different. So we'll try to invite volunteers from other churches because obviously we'll have a lot more time to plan it than we did this year. But if we could schedule out things like setup and tear down, if we could schedule out things like building the fires, and then I would next year, almost certainly, unless God would like come down from heaven and tell me to, I almost certainly would not preach every night again. Now, I felt like that I should this year because I really believe that God had given me all 8 messages, and so I did it. I was faithful to it, and it was better than I anticipated that it would be. However, I would never do that by choice. Like that wouldn't be my desires to speak that much. It's probably going to take a little bit for my voice to kind of like normalize. But that being said, I totally want to do it next year again too. I just don't want to be nearly as involved as I was, because once again, I'd like to see other talents and gifts and abilities in the church come forth, and see those things. See other churches get involved in deeper ways, and maybe we can turn this into something that's a whole lot bigger than Living Water. It was already much bigger than Living Water, but I want it to be bigger than any of us individually. All right, you guys and your colors. Well, I was only going to plan to stay for like 15 minutes, but like I said, stay tuned. This week should be big announcements. I have a couple meetings just to kind of solidify some things, and then we'll be really moving forward on two large projects. One that's going to be good for the community, and one that has the potential to be one of the best things that's happened to Kittanning in a long, long time. So I'm just going to throw that out to you. That's your teaser. I really appreciate you guys. Sorry I wasn't here last Sunday night. I was really going to try to come home and try to do it, but I preached that morning and then I preached that night, and it was just like, ugh, I can't talk anymore. But other than that, Aaron says get some rest. It's been a long few months. It has. Yeah, even since the beginning of summer, because we kind of put together Summer Serve last minute as well. We took it easier, though, this summer, or at least I did. And then, yeah, it's been a big push here for the last 2 months. Huge shout out to Aaron as well. You've been working very, very hard on the Tabernacles thing, and this would not have happened without your help and without your passion for it. So it was really, really great. Adolf says, "Hello, I came back, but I still don't know who this guy is." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't know who I am, I mean, there's 300 some videos. You can go check them out. Um, find out a little bit about me. Other than that, you guys, I really appreciate every single one of you. Glad you could make it tonight. Stay tuned for this week. God bless you. See you very, very soon.